It's 3 a.m. Your cat has a bed and multiple frequent daytime lounging spots around your home. Yet, they are sitting completely empty. Instead, they are directly on you, specifically on top of your chest, taking your breath away as they weigh down on you, taking up exactly the amount of space that makes it impossible for you to roll over without waking them. Most people think it's warmth. A few think their cat is just being annoying. Scientists thought the same things. Then they actually studied it, and what they found sitting underneath that simple, ordinary moment, a cat choosing to sleep on top of a human, was something that nobody expected. Let's start with the warmth argument, because it seems obvious, but it's wrong. Cats actually run a higher body temperature than humans, somewhere between 38 and 39 degrees Celsius, whereas human body temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. This would be like you trying to warm yourself up in the winter by taking a lukewarm bath. Your body heat is actually lower than theirs. If warmth was a primary driver, then they would be sleeping next to the radiator or fireplace. Some cats do sleep in those spots, but owned cats with access to a sleeping human consistently choose the human over all of them. A 2015 survey conducted by the American Pet Products Association found that 62% of cats sleeping with their adult owners every night. If warmth explained it, the preferred sleeping spots would be scattered and inconsistent, which they aren't. Something else is happening, something that goes much deeper than body heat. And once you understand what it actually is, the way you feel when your cat climbs onto you tonight is going to change completely. Here's the thing about sleep that most people never think about. Sleep is the most vulnerable state any living animal can be in. We're unconscious and unaware, completely unable to respond to a threat. Every predator instinct an animal carries gets stripped away the moment they fall asleep. For a species that spent thousands of years as both the predator and the prey, choosing where they sleep is not a casual decision. It's an ancestral instinct and survival calculation. Cats in the wild do not sleep in open spaces. Think of a cheetah during a safari drive. You don't spot them lounging in an open field fast asleep. You'll spot them high up in a tree if they're dozing off. Your house cat is the same. They find concealed, elevated, and protected spots, hidden locations where they cannot be approached without warning. That instinct did not disappear with domestication. It is still running in the background of every domestic cat's brain, every single time they are looking for a spot to sleep. So when your cat walks past every quiet, concealed corner in your home, instinctively safest spot, and climbs onto a large, breathing human, knowing they move around during slumber, that is not random. That is your cat's nervous system telling them that you are the safest thing to be as close as possible to during their most vulnerable state. Not the safest spot, the safest thing. This is a significant difference, and I want you to remember this point as you will see where it links up throughout the video. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran a study built directly on the attachment test used to measure bonding between human infants and their mothers. 79 cats were put into an unfamiliar room with their owners. Then the owners would leave for 2 minutes, and once 2 minutes was up, the owners would return. While the owners were out of the room, they measured the cat's cortisol levels. Cortisol, otherwise known as the stress hormone, 70% of cats showed a sudden increase of cortisol when their owners left the room. The same results were seen with infants and their mothers. This spike showed a secure attachment bond between cats and their owners. They were stressed when their owners left, but settled when they came back. Owned cats will use their owners as a base, moving out to explore, returning to check in. The same behavior of a securely attached infant. Now, let's apply that to sleep. When a securely attached cat chooses to sleep on their owner, they are not just finding a spot. They are doing what every securely attached animal does when they are at their most vulnerable. They are moving towards their safe base, the one presence their nervous system has decided is trustworthy enough to be unconscious near. Think about what that actually means. Your cat is choosing to be completely defenseless in a world their instinct tells them is full of threats. The place they choose to be vulnerable is on you. Here's where the psychological behavior meets neurological brain chemistry. In 2019, researchers at the University of Lincoln measured oxytocin responses in cats during interactions with their owners versus interactions with strangers. With strangers, no significant oxytocin response. With the owners, there was a measurable rise consistently. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone, the same molecule that floods a mother's brain when she is holding her newborn. It reinforces connection. It creates a biological pull towards the person who triggered it. This pull, in turn, causes a further release of oxytocin, and from there, an oxytocin loop forms. Now, this is where it is linked to sleep. The oxytocin response was the strongest during prolonged calm contact with a cat's owner, not during other positively associated interactions like play or feeding. Calm and close proximity over an extended period, which is exactly what co-sleeping is. Every night your cat spends sleeping on you or beside you, they are running a slow, sustained oxytocin loop, reinforcing the bond, making the pull towards you stronger. They are building a biological attachment that compounds over months and years. They are not just sleeping near you, they are chemically deepening their connection to you while you are both at your most vulnerable, and waking up the next day feeling more connected to you than they were the day before. Tonight, when your cat comes to sleep with you, take note of where your cat places their head. Most cats position themselves towards the chest, most specifically the left side of the chest, where they can hear your heartbeat the clearest. Research into neonatal, otherwise known as the newborn phase of bonding in mammals, found that rhythmic heartbeat sounds are one of the primary regulators of the nervous system in early life. It is the first sound a mammal hears in the womb and becomes neurologically associated with safety at the most fundamental level of brain development. A 2007 study published by Applied Animal Behavioral Science found that cats exposed to species-specific calming music, aka music specifically composed to tempos and frequencies that mirror feline vocalizations and heartbeats, showed significantly reduced cortisol levels and increased positive associative behavior compared to silence or human music. Your heartbeat to your cat is a sound associated with safety. It is a rhythm that allows their nervous system to settle. Every night that they are pressing their ear to your chest, they are doing something ancient, finding the sound that tells their brain everything is okay. A 2020 study in PLOS-1 measured cortisol levels in 30 domestic cats over 30 days using fur samples. Fur samples capture hormone accumulation over time, a much more honest picture than a single measurement. Cats with consistent daily physical contact with their owners showed cortisol levels 22% lower than cats with irregular contact, not linked to other positively associated activities like feeding or routine, specifically linked directly to physical presence of owners with their cats. Now, let's extend that finding to sleep. Sleep is already the period when naturally cortisol drops. The body uses sleep to regulate stress, repair tissue, consolidate memory, and overall reset the neurosystem. It is the most important window of physiological recovery that an animal has. Your cat sleeping on you is combining two cortisol reducing forces simultaneously: the natural cortisol drop of sleep and the additional reduction that comes with your physical presence. They are not just sleeping, they are recovering more completely because of where they are sleeping. Your presence is making their rest more restorative at a biological level. You are not just their bed, you're part of what makes their sleep effectively restorative. In 2024, the University of Jyväskylä in Finland monitored heart rate variability in 30 dog owner pairs across multiple conditions. Heart rate variability, or HRV, is one of the most accurate measures of how the autonomic nervous system is functioning. High HRV means the body is calm and regulated. Low HRV means the body's stress response is activated. What they found was that during rest, bonded pairs showed correlating HRV patterns. Their nervous systems were synchronized. When one was calm, the other was calm. When one shifted, the other followed. Synchronization was strongest during rest. This was the weakest or absent entirely with unfamiliar humans. While this study is focused on dogs, the mechanism, autonomic nervous system co-regulation between bonded pairs is not species specific. It is a mammalian bonding behavior. Your cat sleeping on you is not passive. Both of you are co-regulating throughout the night. Your nervous systems are communicating in a language that has nothing to do with words or behavior, something more fundamental than either. Two bodies, one rhythm, running all night while you are both completely unaware of it. One final fact before we get to the part of this video that I think matters the most. A 2020 study found that cats move closer to owners during periods of emotional distress, more physical presence and contact. They seek you out when you are struggling in a way they do not at any other time. There are documented cases, reported consistently enough to be taken seriously in veterinary behavioral literature, of cats waking owners during medical events, seizures, hypoglycemic events, in diabetic owners, or significant drops in blood pressure. Whether this is deliberate detection or simply the cat responding to subtle physiological changes in their sleeping human, changes in breathing pattern, heart rate, body temperature, the result is the same. They notice when something shifts in you during sleep and they respond to it. Your cat is not just sleeping on you. On some level, they are watching over you, while they too believe you are watching over them. They view it as a symbiotic relationship. Now, getting back to the part which I think is the most important point to take away from this video. If your cat has been sleeping with you every night for months or years, and they suddenly stop without an obvious reason, don't ignore it. Cats mask pain and illness with extraordinary precision. It is evolutionary. Showing weakness in the wild means becoming a target. So they go quiet and become withdrawn. They change their patterns in ways that are easy to dismiss as being in a mood. A 2018 review in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery identified changes in sleeping location as one of the earliest and most consistent behavioral indicators of chronic pain in domestic cats, appearing in many cases weeks before any physical symptoms could become visible, weeks before a standard examination would have caught anything. The cat that always sleeps on your chest and now sleeps alone in the other room is not being distant. They are not in a mood. In a significant number of cases, that change in sleeping location is a cat in pain, trying to find a spot that hurts less to get to. They may no longer be able to climb up onto your bed, and the pressure or movement of sharing a bed with a human may be too physically painful for them. A 2021 study from the University of Montreal found that owners educated about feline pain behavior detected health problems an average of 3.2 weeks earlier than owners who were not. In kidney disease, hypothyroidism, Early stage cancer, conditions that are entirely manageable when found in time. 3.2 weeks is not a small number. In those conditions, it can be the difference between caught too early or caught too late. Your cat spent years choosing to sleep on top of you, pressing their ear to your heartbeat, running a quiet oxytocin loop while you were both unconscious, co-regulating your nervous systems through the night. They gave you every night without being asked or being trained to do so, just because they thought you were the safest thing in their world. If that changes, pay attention, learn to read it, book the vet. Because the cat that always came to bed might be trying to tell you something, and they are counting on you to notice. So tonight, when your cat climbs onto you, remember what you know now. They are not there for the warmth. They are there because their nervous system, after everything it was built to protect them from, decided you were safe enough to be unconscious near.